Good morning, everyone. And today I'll be speaking about an issue that I think many of us hold dear in this contemporary world: FOMO. Whether it be concert tickets for Taylor Swift or fashion, this fear of missing out has really dominated our way of living. And, it's this feeling of apprehension that you're missing out on something, on experiences, on information, on events, especially so if someone you know is experiencing them. Compared to our traditional ways of living, to be happy, to be grateful for what we have, not because of what we don't have, this new lifestyle is not exactly ideal. I'm sure that all of us here have felt that feeling before. And on its own, it may not be too big of an issue to make decisions based on FOMO. But my question for it is just this: where is the line? When does it become too much? Where's the line between enriching your life and obsessing over maximizing it? I learned my lesson the hard way, and you don't have to. Our psyche evolves over time like a palimpsest, and my mind has done exactly that. Layer over layer, you'll see how our mindsets are continually being refined. And what I've noticed is that whilst I'm not one for concert tickets or fashion, I've struggled and still do with FOMO. I felt the need to maximize my time in school and say yes to every single opportunity that gets presented to me. So, how did it turn out this way? Well, it starts, as most things do, with good intentions. Back in year 2, where I had near zero leadership experience, nor drive, nor passion, nor, for that matter, any desire to even want to improve. Year 2 was also quite a free time, as you can see. So, in all honesty, every day after school, I'd just be back home on my phone, doom scrolling, in this set routine of school, home, school, home, school, home. Very boring. So then I realized that, you know what? I need to change something for my future. I'd always thought that it was enough to just be happy and content with where I was, but I started to change my thinking, to evolve my thinking. And I felt that it would really be a pity if I didn't take up every experience I could as a student, if I didn't experience as much as possible whilst I was still a student. So with this change in mindset, in an example of a palimpsest, I changed my mind about my pursuit of happiness and decided to take on everything I could. So having been given the small push I needed by my mom and some further encouragement from my former teacher, Miss Grace, I took my first leap by applying for the student council. And even after joining the student council, I was still desperate to make up for the lost time. I needed to catch up with my peers, with all of you who have achieved more. And that's when I started to take up almost every single opportunity that came my way, focusing especially on Model UN in 2022, then leadership in 2023. And this really peaked last year, where in the span of just 4 or 6 months, I committed myself to multiple massive responsibilities: to run for student council president, successful I guess, to lead HMUN as secretary general, and to be the student in charge for the leadership conference. Now, fast forward a few months to January of this year, and that's when I had to balance between the campaign, HMUN, leadership conference, the transition to IB1 all at once. And in one such example, so a weekend, I spent the majority of the day working, and only a small portion of that was actually on schoolwork. And even still, I couldn't finish everything that I was doing. So what happened to my weekend? Instead of it being a time to de-stress and relax a little bit, maybe do a bit of homework, it became just more time for me to do even more work. I took on too many experiences, and now I was paying the price for that. But still, let me be absolutely clear here that all of these experiences were incredibly valuable, all right? Great in their own right. It's just simply that all of them combined together may not have been the best idea. So in such an example, you must say no to FOMO. My psyche has evolved since just the year before. And, I realized how much of an impact this had on me and on other people too. Thus, adding yet another layer to the palimpsest of my psyche, as the overwork took its toll and my thinking changed yet again. We all only have so much free time, yet I distributed this time thinner and thinner and thinner. This means that, I did take on a greater quantity of experiences, but the quality of these experiences greatly suffered. So what I did was choose quantity over quality. And I think you'd agree with me when I say that you want to avoid this. At this point, it probably sounds like I'm just advocating for you to lie flat and do nothing and have fun. So, let me be clear that that is absolutely not what I am saying. However, you must be wary of this FOMO effect as well. Don't fall into the same trap that I did. And to do this, it's actually not very difficult. Just ask yourself these two questions. 1, is this something that you can actually give your 100% to? And 2, is this something that you actually genuinely want to do? More does not mean better. So instead, gain different perspectives regarding your goals and your preoccupations. And consider whether chasing after every little thing for the fear of losing out is really beneficial for you. Think from multiple perspectives. Perspectives in time, perspectives in person. It's impossible that you won't reach a limit in how much you can take on. So instead, before you take charge of yet another CAS project, sign up to help out in some random event, consider whether that commitment will be superficial or if it will be your best standing. Focus on quality, on taking on the meaningful experiences, on the experiences which are better for you. And personally, I've found myself happier, more eager, when I had fewer opportunities, but when these were opportunities which mattered more to me. So now the question just comes to this. How do you find what it is that you really want to do? And the answer, I'm sorry for the cliche, it's true, it's just passion. We're all still in that time of our lives, we're still 17 or 16 or 18-year-olds, where we're ripe for exploration. No financial troubles, no taxes, no stress of adult life. So pursue anything that interests you. Feel free to explore. It's perfectly fine to have a few misses here and there. That's okay. Just make sure that as you're doing this exploration, you don't overburden yourself, you don't take on more than you can handle, and that you drop the things you no longer have the passion for. Once you've found something you really love doing, then everything else will actually just figure itself out. And even still, it's okay to change your mind on these things. It's okay to fall out of love with something, to learn something new. Your mindset will evolve with time and experiences like a palimpsest continually. So don't be afraid of judgment. There's no need. Don't be scared of letting people down, of no longer being the eager, all-willing student. It's okay. As long as you're evolving, your psyche is evolving and not in atrophy, then it's all good. Rather than this being the end or your downfall, it's simply adding another layer to the never-ending palimpsest of your psyche. So what's the lesson here? Well, in reality, it's actually quite simple. Manage the opportunities you take by finding your passion and your goals, rather than blindly accepting every experience that comes your way. Manage your time. Learn to say no at times. And most importantly, develop the recognition that you can only do so much if you want to do what you're doing well. Be selective, but not afraid to take big, calculated steps when need be. So, in some ending words, accept this palimpsest. Accept evolution. Accept the need to continue doing so. Accept judgment. Accept that you can't please everyone. And accept the need to change. The palimpsest of our psyches. Thank you.